So you love doing Qigong. You love the dynamic movements, moving your body in ways you don't normally do. Well, what if I told you you can do Qigong literally anywhere, anytime, even in public, without anybody ever noticing? Of course, we'd have to dial down some of those more dynamic motions. You wouldn't necessarily stand at a checkout line doing a crane position or walking down the aisle of a grocery store doing a Tai Chi walk. You could, but there are so many ways that we can do Qigong that are so subtle, and we're actually giving the entire body, breath, and mind a workout, whether it's on a plane, in a waiting room, sitting in traffic, even in a meeting. You can do subtle things that are moving your body and your breath in ways that are almost imperceivable, and you're doing a full body, totally holistic workout. So stay tuned and we'll go over 9 ways to do Qigong based exercises in public without anyone ever noticing. All right, are you ready to learn 9 Qigong exercises you can do in public without anybody ever knowing? Some of these can be done seated, some of these can be done standing. I will demonstrate modifications for both standing and seated. Some of them are seated only, some standing only, some can be interchangeable. And this is a full body workout too. We're gonna do everything from head to toe, inside and out. So the first one is very simple, conscious breathing. Now that can be done in several different ways. We can do just a simple in, out, 2-part breath, in and out. When we could do a 3-part breath, which would be a 2-part inhale, 1-part exhale. You can even do a 4-part breath where you're holding the breath in. All of these different breathing techniques have different reasons for doing them, but they're all very easy, all very subtle, and you can do it without moving at all, both standing or seated. The first one, simply 2-part breath. Conscious breathing. In and out through the nose. Nobody would ever see you doing this. So you breathe in through the nose, nice and deep, filling up the body with breath, and breathe out deeply. This is just a simple deep breath, in and out through the nose, but you're bringing your conscious awareness to it, so that's going to have serious positive benefits for nervous system regulation. When we start holding the breath in, that's going to help bring more oxygen throughout the blood, dilate the blood vessels, so we get better circulation, better blood flow, better blood pressure, and more energy flow too. So you can do anything you want with your hands. You can be reading a book, you can be driving, breathing consciously, bringing your awareness to the breath, in and out through the nose. The 3-part breath would be an inhale, a little bit more with the deep abdominal breath. And then you do a 2nd part inhale, filling the chest more, and then exhale completely. So it's in, out. Inhale, belly breath, inhale, chest breath, and exhale everything out. Do it slowly, do it deliberately, and with intention of relaxing and restoring the nervous system. And the 4-part breath would be the same kind of breathing in with the belly, breathe in with the chest. This time, hold the breath in for as long as you want. You can do 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15, whatever is good for you, and then let it all out. Breathing. That is a critical, crucial component of any Qigong exercise, any exercise in general, bringing awareness and attention to your breath. And you can do this literally anywhere. We can do some feet and ankle work too. Very subtly without even moving that much. You're not really moving the body, you're just moving the feet and the ankles. What we're gonna do here is alternating ankle movements with the feet. So it's going to kind of look like this with the feet if they're flat. Alternating motions here, alternating motions. So we're gonna bring toes up on one foot and heel up on the other foot. You can do this standing. It's gonna be a little harder on the balance, and you can definitely do it seated, and I'll show you that. So if I were to bring my right toes up, bring the left heel up. So I'm on the left toes, on the left heel. Then as slowly and controlled as I can, bring everything flat, and then alternate. Left toes up, right heel up. My body's hardly moving at all. I'm just moving my feet. You can be standing in line, standing wherever, doing this foot and ankle motion here. Now it's important to feel the feet, connecting the feet to the ground, feeling all those different points of contact on the feet, the toes, the toe mound, the heels, all these different points throughout our feet. We want to feel that weight distributing through the entire foot as we slowly and evenly alternate. If I were to be sitting down, it's a little bit easier because you're taking that weight off and not having to deal with balance at all. So you bring right toes up, left heel up, and then just alternate. Very slowly, we're flexing the ankles here, great for the joints. We're flexing the fascia and the muscles throughout the lower legs, the shins and the calves. And we're stretching the feet out. We're bringing that awareness to our feet, which is great for balance in general, having a good solid awareness of your feet and how they move. And you're not even moving. Nobody will notice. So you can do this standing or seated. Now we want to move up to the legs and the hips. So there's a few different exercises you can do that are very dynamic for the legs, but you can do some subtle things too. If we were seated, you can do some cross-legged. So a lot of people try to sit like this. That is not actually very good for your body. That's gonna do some weird things to your hip alignment. That's even gonna block some blood and energy flow by crossing your legs like this. But if you put your ankle on your knee, that's going to help you stretch out the hips by literally pressing down on that knee. Now you can do this even slouching. It's a little bit better for alignment if your back is straight, but you can just be sitting back in a chair, in a meeting, whatever, in a waiting room, pressing the knee down. You could do it with one hand while you still have a book or your phone or whatever in your hand, and it's so subtle, nobody would notice. If they do, they might think you're just stretching, which you are, and that's fine. And of course, you want to switch legs. You always want to do things on both sides to keep things balanced and aligned. So same thing, ankle on knee, and just pressing down. That's going to help open up the pelvis and the hip bones. That's going to stretch the groin and the outsides of the hips as well. You could even flex the feet here for a little bit more ankle joint health. Standing up, you can do some basic side shifts. So in Qigong or Tai Chi, we often do some real deep motions, deep side shifts with twists and things like that. We can keep a nice upright stance and just shift side to side. Very subtle here. Feeling the weight distribute throughout the feet. When you shift the weight to one side, feel that weight rooting down one leg, and then shift, feel the weight transfer to the other leg. You're bringing it so rooted down that you could easily lift up this leg. You don't have to, but we want to load one leg and unload another leg. We're not going too deep here. We're trying to keep this subtle and unnoticeable, right? So just slight shifts. You can add a little twist. This one's a little bit more noticeable than some of the others, but it still is pretty subtle. And somebody might think you're just fidgety, maybe, and that's okay. It's not about worrying about what people think. It's about understanding that you can do these things anywhere and not have to do these dynamic motions all of the time. It's dynamic in its own right because you're bringing your awareness, your attention. You want to breathe throughout these practices as well. You can inhale to one leg, exhale to the other leg. Keep it nice and light and easy. And you are working out your legs. Moving on to the spine and the shoulders. There's a lot of motions that connect the spine and the shoulders because the shoulders are very much connected to the spine. And we can do a lot of motions that isolate only the spine, only the shoulders, but for the purposes of this, we can combine them as well. Some simple motions here. First one is just shifting the shoulders forward and then shifting them back. Now this is actually a move called spinal bending, spinal breathing, or forward backward bending, where we do it a little bit more dynamically with the big breath here, but we can do this subtly by just shifting the shoulders forward, compressing the chest, spreading out the shoulder blades in the back, and then bring the shoulders backwards, opening the chest, compressing the shoulder blades in the back. This is going to work more of the thoracic spine, the mid and upper back here, and the shoulders as well. And of course, bring breathing into it. Inhale as you go back, exhale as you go forward. You can make it very subtle, just shifting back, shifting forward. From the front angle, you can barely see that I'm doing anything. Just forward and back. That's can be done seated or standing. A seated only one would be shifting the hips. So this is a little bit easier when you have a back on a chair, a little harder if there's a stool or something like that. But if you're in an airplane seat or waiting in an office or something like that, you can grab onto the sides, or if there's arms in the chair, you can even wrap your feet around the legs if you can do that. And all we want to do is shift the hips forward and backwards. When we shift the hips forward, you're going to feel the back flatten against the chair. There's no space. I can't get my hand behind my back at all. When I shift the hips more back, you're going to feel that back curve, and now there's space there and I can get my hand between it. This is going to work the curvature of the lower spine. So you're just shifting the hips forward and backwards, forwards and backwards. It's almost like you're scratching your back like a bear. Forwards and backwards. Again, you can bring the breathing into this too. Nobody will know that you're doing breath work. Inhale in one direction, exhale in the other direction. Inhale, exhale. Very easy, just shifting. Using the legs to press. You can hold on to something for a little bit more stability. And again, everyone's in their own world out in public, especially people on their phones. Maybe someone's conversing with somebody else. The only people that might notice you doing these things are children, because they're just taking everything in, right? But nobody will notice you doing this stuff. Moving up from the spine, we have the neck. Very easy. Neck rolls, seated or standing. Neck rolls. Circular motions in both directions. Inhale as you go back and around, back, inhaling, forward, exhaling. You can do turns like you're doing exaggerated no's or yeses, right? Up and down, side to side, stretching out the neck, bringing the breathing into it. Very easy, very subtle. We can also work on our organs. Very easily, we forget about our organs. We work out the body, the muscles. We need to bring organ health into our awareness too, and this is very easy to work with. You can literally just press in. Imagine you have a clock face on your gut here, starting at 12. Just press in with your fingers. Press directly in, and then go around the clock. All the way around, all those points of the clock. 6 o'clock, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All you're doing is pressing in, pressing in. This is massaging the organs inside, and you're also bringing your attention and awareness to these organs, which is going to help activate the chi within them. You can alternate the direction. You can go as fast or as slow as you like with this. You can just focus on one area, the upper cavity, the lower cavity. You can focus on certain organs like the liver, just pressing in. Maybe give a little massage, maybe a little massage on the stomach and the spleen area or on the gut. You can do whatever you like here. It's very subtle. Nobody would notice. Even more subtle, nobody will notice at all if you're just doing some intentional breathing, bringing your awareness to the organs. So there's something called the 6 healing sounds, where you can actually make a sound with your throat that resonate on certain levels with certain organs. But ultimately, it's the intention that carries the healing mechanisms. So we can literally just do some deep breathing like we did in the first one, the 2-part, 3-part, 4-part breath, and think about your liver, think about your stomach, think about your heart, lungs, kidneys, all of those organs within you. Just bring your intention and attention, love and gratitude for all those things that function within you all day, every day, and send those waves of love and gratitude to your organs. You can do that without even moving. Joint health, especially with our wrists, we can do some easy wrist motions, interlocking the fingers and just circling the wrists. You can even do it down below, less noticeable here. Wrist curls, or even finger exercises. You can work with the dexterity and strength of your fingers by just curling the fingers, spreading them out, curling, spreading out, curling. You can do that with the hands down by the side. Nobody would even notice you doing this. You can make different motions with the hands by curling the wrists in, curling the wrists in this way, out, moving the wrists in all different directions, even just spiraling one wrist at a time while holding something. You're reading a book, you're looking at your phone, reading something on the phone, and doing something with your other wrist. And then you switch. Always do both sides. Circling the wrists. Same kind of motion of working with the ankles. We want to bring some more circulation to the hands and work out those finger joints and wrist joints. Vagal toning. Now this is a huge one. The vagus nerve goes throughout our entire body from the brainstem all the way down, and every nerve stems from that main nerve. That is essentially our central nervous system. This is going to help us decompress and regulate the nervous system by simply, like we were doing with the energizing of the organs, pressing in, but directly on the belly button, the navel. That is a direct access to that vagal nerve, and vagal toning means strengthening that vagus nerve. So all you're doing is pressing into the belly button, pressing in. Of course, you can do this seated as well. Sit down, just pressing in and release. Press in and release. Press in and release. And you can bring the breath to it too. Inhale, exhale, release. So you're pressing in, and then release. Press in and release. Very simple. Pressing in on the belly button and release. Press in. You can do this a few times. You can do this a few hundred times. Just breathing and pressing in on the belly button. Very, very easy to do. It's going to regulate your nervous system, help you relax and restore circulation and energy flow throughout your entire body. And the last thing we can do is just simple Qi awareness. You can always do that through the breath. When we are doing breath work, we can start having a sensation of tingling, warming, wave-like sensations. Anything that might feel like a sensation you're not used to is the Qi flowing, and you're starting to have awareness of that Qi. But there are some other things you can do with fingers. The hands are the most noticeable area typically where we feel the Qi sensation. When we do a lot of work in Qigong, a lot of people feel their hands pulsing or tingling, and there's a lot of easy ways to do that simply by tapping. You can take all 5 fingers together and just tap on this center point of the palm here. That's a real big acupoint called the Lao Gong point. And if you tap this for a minute, 2 minutes, you can really feel the pulsing when you stop in your hands too on both sides. You can just do one finger. If this might be too noticeable, just do one finger tapping. You can do it down below. You can do it up here. Another thing you can do is the feet. So sitting down, this would be harder to do standing, but sitting down, knocking the feet together, you keep your heels together and just knock those bony areas right underneath your big toes. Just knock those together again and again. And if you do this for a couple of minutes and stop, you'd be surprised at the sensations you feel moving throughout your body. So with the fingers, you can even tap the ends of the fingers together like this. Again, you can do this subtly down below. If anything, people might think you're a little fidgety, if they are even noticing at all. And the best thing that can happen is if somebody does notice and just piques their curiosity to see what you're doing and can maybe look up videos online and find this one, or They can even ask you, hey, what are you doing? And you can describe to them you're doing Qigong, and then explain to them what Qigong is, and then bring the awareness to somebody else. So that's the best case scenario, to spread this knowledge out. Let me know what kind of exercises you bring in public if you try these, and if you like them, and if anybody noticed, or if you just did everything and everyone was oblivious. I'd love to hear what you think. So check it out. Do these exercises in public and keep on flowing. If you're interested in learning more about these exercises or how to make them more dynamic, I teach Qigong weekly, both online and in person if you are local to where I live in Eastern Tennessee. But check out forgeandflow.org for more information on how you can join in on classes and learn more about Qigong with me.